You're listening to the Mile High Church podcast. On Wednesday, October 29th, we have a special service honoring Dia de los Muertos with Reverend Zamira, as well as Rocio Self, and many special guests. This is an opportunity to honor ancestors in our lives and celebrate a sacred cultural tradition. For more information, go to milehighchurch.org.
A long time ago, someone said, "It is better to give than to receive." What a sucker. Never undervalue the importance and the power of receiving. Our whole philosophy is based upon it. We live in a universe filled with so much good, so much love, so many blessings unfolding before our eyes every day. The challenge is to build and cultivate the consciousness in which to receive them. It's all about that receptivity. How can I better have an open mind? How can I better cultivate a transparent heart? How can I have an open life, always open to the highest and best taking place? Receiving is incredibly important. And yet, perhaps giving is the highest form of receiving. Maybe that person wasn't such a sucker after all. It isn't until we give that we fully embody what we've received. It's not until we give that we can recognize and celebrate what we've received. Only in serving a cause greater than ourselves do we become ourselves. There's another saying that I find quite annoying. I've never understood it. You can't have your cake and have it too. You can't have your cake and eat it too. I'm so annoyed with it, I can't even spit it out correctly. You can't have your cake and eat it too. Of course I can. Here I am. Here is my cake. Here is my fork. Here I am having my cake. It took reading Ursula Le Guin to hear that probably the right way to say it is you can't have your cake and keep it. You can't have your cake and keep it, which speaks to the heart of this message I want to give today about receiving. The importance of having the cake without trying to keep it. I have some issues with receiving. I still have those issues, but I'm more and more aware of them. The first goes back to that initial phrase, this idea that giving is better than receiving. I misinterpret it to mean receiving can be a bad thing. Receiving isn't being humble enough. And so being at times in my life a very dysfunctional giver, sometimes even when things are made available to me, I might unconsciously reject them or say no to them. No, I don't need that much love. No, I don't need that gift. Who, little old me? Not realizing that the key to being able to give is to receive. And that if we're just giving, we just wind up empty holes of burnout. And so I've had to learn to make receiving a very conscious practice. The other issue I've had with receiving is this tension between having and keeping. I don't know about you, but I think a lot of us are walking around with a lot of stale cake. Instead of fully experiencing and enjoying what is, we feel it slipping away and we start to panic. I can have my childhood, but I can't keep it. I can have my children, but I can't keep them. I can have love and joy and healing and deepening and growth and inspiration, but I cannot keep those relationships, those experiences. And yet, the richness still remains. I hope you get something out of my message today besides a hunger for a piece of cake. I quoted last month Julia Samuel, quote about grief. She said, "We tend to think that grief begins with death, but really, grief begins the moment we sense something precious slipping away. Grief begins with love." And I think there can be good grief and unhealthy grief. Good grief is eating the cake of life, even knowing that that last bite might be close, but still treating it like it's the first bite. It's celebrating life even in the midst of tears and sadness, celebrating no matter what, responding with that resilience of joy within us. It's even though I'm so sad, I'm still so grateful. That's good grief. Unhealthy grief is trying to keep the cake. It's that unhealthy attachment that brings us away from the present moment and traps us in a kind of not now that has us on the outside looking in at our lives from a place of despair and loneliness and isolation, as opposed to stepping into this moment, the only place where we can give and receive, this moment right here and right now, to experience the fullness of love and of life. This is our spiritual call, or my spiritual charge to you today, is to receive in this moment. The Buddha talked about what he called a tamed heart and an untamed heart. Friends, the Buddha said, I know nothing which tends towards loss, as does an untamed heart. Indeed, the untamed heart tends towards loss. Friends, I know nothing which tends towards growth, as does a tamed heart. Indeed, the tamed heart tends towards growth. A tamed heart can be young at heart. It can be wild at heart. But it knows to live in the fullness of this now moment. It's the heart that eats and loves the cake. The untamed heart practices unhealthy attachment. It clings. It is unwilling to accept that life is a process of constant change and growth. And if we try to hang on, we struggle. And we miss out on that experience of meaning and fulfillment. Ernest Holmes, our founder, he wrote this big book called The Science of Mind, and I'm willing to bet $1 that he only tells one story in it. And it's the following. There once was a man who was incredibly thirsty. And this man had a glass of water. And then this man continued to complain about how thirsty he was. End of story. What's missing in the story? Fulfillment. Having our thirst quenched. Being full. Do you know anyone in your life who lacks that fulfillment? Who walks around, even when they get what they want, complaining about not having what they want? They haven't yet cultivated that consciousness that's capable of having their real thirst quenched, of experiencing the whole of the moment in the whole of the now. That consciousness that can embrace and embody an experience of fulfillment. I don't know about you, but I don't want to be that guy. Do you? No. Let's quench our thirst. Let's enjoy the cake. I'm learning this more so than in any other time in my life by being a parent, having these kids. My oldest turned 21 last week. We got to go and have his first drink in Las Vegas. Let me correct that. His first legal drink in Las Vegas. My daughter recently turned 7, and I'm in this dual place. First, thank you, God. What a blessing. I am so grateful. And God, I am so mad at you. Please slow down the time. They are growing up so quickly. Now, I know for some of you, I can't wait to let them go. Ready, move, get out of the house. And what I've learned is that if I get too caught up in the consciousness of keeping, if I get too caught up in the grieving, that I don't enjoy the cake, that I miss out on the heart of that experience. You can't have your cake and keep it. Sometimes the most essential thing to receivership is letting go. It's not until we can let go sometimes that we can truly receive the gift, much less just be and enjoy the gift. The gift is not the gift if you keep it tucked away in a safe somewhere. The gift is only the gift when we receive it and then when we give it as well. That beautiful gift of life. I'm going to share a quote from Khalil Gibran. It's a little weird, but it's meaningful nonetheless. You would know the secret of death, but how shall you find it unless you seek it in the heart of life? For what is it to die but to stand naked in the wind and melt into the sun? And what is it to cease breathing but to feel the breath from its restless tides, that it may rise and expand and seek God unencumbered? Only when you drink from the river of silence shall you indeed sing. And when you have reached the mountain top, then you shall begin to climb. And when the earth shall claim your limbs, then you shall truly dance. Receive in this moment, this now moment, that has this ever-present contradiction in it. The moment is always brand new. It is always changing. Everything is transitory. And yet, this moment is eternal. It is forever. I challenge you to point me to not now, to try to go there, to try to live there. It doesn't exist. There's only this now moment. And the alchemy of the spiritual life is bringing this brand new and this temporal and this change and this awareness of the eternal right now always is within ourselves. And we have that choice to allow that fact to turn us to stone or to turn us into gold so that we can live in the fullness of this now moment. Question, in your life, this phase of life that you're in right now, what is yours to give? What is yours to give? I hope I have some wisdom to share. Bobby Dart, our announcement guy, once said, Josh, you're not wise, but you say wise things. I appreciate that. Hopefully I've gained and can give some of this little thing called perspective. I can give of generosity. I think I'm really good at beholding people or seeing the truth for people or holding space for them to become. That's one of my favorite things to get to do. What do you have to give in your life today? And this is a harder one for me. What is yours to receive at this time in your life? What is yours to receive? Oh, I want to receive love. I want to be seen and witnessed. Yeah, some abundance and prosperity. Yeah, that's it. I want to co-create and feel a sense of community in my life. I want to receive wisdom in expected and in magical, synchronistic ways. I want to receive a sense of reverence and resonance and relevance in my relationship with the sacred and every aspect of my life. And a little homework assignment for you this week. Just before you go into a meeting or before you get to church or before you go out to dinner with your partner, just ask yourselves, in this moment, what is mine to give? In this moment, what is mine to give? And in this moment, what is mine to receive? Talk about a wonderful way to live in harmony with the reciprocal nature of life, to stay open and receptive to it. I got to work with our practitioners a lot over the summer and into the fall, and there was a question at the heart of all of that work for me. And the question was, who is the greater prayer practitioner? She who prays or she who asks for prayer? And I would hope that we would see the answer would be that they go together. Each and every one of you here is a practitioner, by the way. Some of us have licenses. The best practitioner is she who does wonderful healing and inspiring prayer, but just as much always knows what she is seeking prayer for. A lot of times we think we know what we want on the surface of our mind, but if you can daily take time to say, what is my prayer request just for this day? That if someone were to turn from behind themselves to look at me in the line at 7-Eleven and said, what can I pray for you for? That you would be able to tell them and be prepared for them. Because we know, whether we're conscious of it or not, we're always praying. We're always connected with that higher mind. So when we can clarify and not only give of our prayers for the things that we want and the people that we love, but to be open to receiving answered prayer through so many different means, we live in that greater receptivity of life. This moment is all that there is. It is ever changing, and yet at the same time, it is eternal and changeless. We have to learn to deal with that, to allow that truth to transform itself in a way that it allows us to enter into our full becoming. What better image is there for this? What better symbol than that mystical rose? These beautiful roses we see here, the beautiful story and process that Zamira will be leading us through. Something so beautiful and temporary and only in this moment, or a few moments more, and something that speaks to us of something eternal, something sacred, something everlasting. We get that challenge to live in both of those realities. But my message to you is, please choose to eat the cake. Love in this moment, trust in this moment, be light in this moment, and receive in this moment.
Thanks for listening to the Mile High Church podcast. This podcast is made possible by the generous contributions from listeners like you. To make a donation, please visit milehighchurch.org.